DAZN is the home of boxing, with over 150 live fights a year.
It's over! There's no way back from this, surely!
Ladies and gentlemen, let's get ready to rumble!
How do you like it? How do you like it?
That is unbelievable.
These guys will be legends in their own country, but also in the international basketball world forever.
That is what sport means. That is what the EuroLeague trophy means. Are you not entertained? I'm not supposed to be cheering, but this is X Series. I can do whatever I want.
Everything is difficult in this life, so still you need to be on it.
It all comes down to tonight. Don't miss the biggest night in MMA. PFL is more than a fight.
Catching up on any NFL game is easier than ever before.
Looking to the end zone for the win!
Oh my gosh, one of the great games you'll ever see.
The competition is back, and the UEFA Women's Champions League looks set to be bigger and better than ever before.
It's their time. A night to remember.
The following program is recommended for those 16 and over, as it contains sporting violence, possible bad language, and flashing imagery.
How do you like it? So aggressive, so focused. It all comes down to this.
Fight Night, only on DAZN.
Well, a very good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to today's launch press conference for a big fight coming your way on DAZN March 1st from the SSE Arena in Belfast. It's Limerick versus Belfast. It's Lewis Crocker versus Paddy Donovan in what is also a final eliminator for the IBF World Welterweight Championship, currently held by the King of Philadelphia, Jaron Boots Ennis. And as I always say, it's all live exclusively around the world on DAZN. Jamie Ward here, and speaking of IBF rankings and IBF belts, unfortunately Jai Opataya couldn't make it, so we have flown in former IBF World Middleweight Champion Mr. Darren Barker. Last minute, Darren, our first Matchroom press conference of 2025. Donut. Yeah, fair, that is fair. We're back in Belfast, a great turnout. 2024 is in the history books, what a year it was, but it's pretty good to be back, isn't it?
I mean, look at the schedule already for 2025. I mean, 2024 to be beaten means that this year would be special. The way it's starting, it looks that way. It looks like we could be following up another great year with another. But this card, this main event is special. Great to be back in Belfast, a proper fighting city. And yeah, the buzz is growing already.
Well, this is certainly, I think, one of the standout fights of the Q1 schedule, March 1st, of course, live on DAZN. Lewis Crocker, Paddy Donovan, 14-0 against 20-0, 22 knockouts between them. This fight's been brewing for a little while. Why was now the right time, do you think, for these two to lock horns?
I just think it's built nicely. There's a bit of needle, there's a bit of
Your mic's not working, so here's my mic.
Yeah, there's a bit of tension in the air. There's a you know, a bit of needle, if you like, between the two. And I just think now it's built into something that is really, really meaningful. Final eliminator for the IBF welterweight world title. The opportunity to fulfill a dream and fight for world honours is what every fighter strives to. So I'm glad that it's taken a little bit of time and something very, very special.
The old lollipop trick. When you look at the two styles, Lewis Crocker's an imposing figure. He's massive, isn't he? For 147 pounds, a big welterweight. When you look at Paddy Donovan, he's the slicker out of the two, the boxer, the crafty southpaw. What do you like about the two styles, the gelling of styles, the different styles? And is it boxer versus puncher, or is that perhaps a little bit of a disservice?
I think if you look at the record, you'd probably say that. I like the contrasting styles between the two. You know, Crocker, no secret, he likes to hold the centre of the ring and let big shots go to head and body, and Paddy can do a bit of everything. Funny enough, you look at the knockout percentage between the two fighters, it favours Paddy Donovan. Will he have that bit between his teeth? Will he try and show the fans, the away fans, if you like, that he is the bigger puncher out of the two? It's a brilliant fight. There's so many variables to how this fight could be won or lost. It's who can get their game plan into the fight early.
Lewis Crocker becoming a bit of a hometown hero, and I don't know if you can see some shots of the crowd, but for a Wednesday afternoon, this is a pretty good turnout, and he wants to be the flag bearer in what is a brilliant boxing city. You can hear the round of applause there for Lewis Crocker. He's done nearly 1,000 tickets out of his own pocket for this show. We think on March 1st it's going to be a bit of a Crocker cauldron in the SSC, but Paddy Donovan, for what could be seen as a bit of a mental check for him, he's turned up dressed as Crocodile Dundee, and I don't think he's fazed by this one bit.
Well, he looks to be the crocodile hunter, doesn't he? But yeah, look, it's going to be the Lions Den, if you like. There's an opportunity here. Certainly, we'll talk about Belfast very quickly. Since Cole Frampton, to be that next person, and we see how popular he was. So there's an opportunity for Lewis Crocker. But then on the flip side, Paddy Donovan, can he get a win here? Take it back down to Limerick is special.
And tickets are on sale now. Ticketmaster.ie. So make sure you get those before they are gone. We are going to be hearing from some of the fighters on the undercard on March 1st, as well as both sides of the main event, and also both trainers of the main event. I love that battle, Billy Nelson against, of course, my former favourite, in fact, my favourite former, I should say, world middleweight champion, Mr. Andy Lee, as well, of course. But more importantly than that, as always, the main man in the middle is promoter Eddie Hearn. Let's get today's press conference underway.
Well, we're live. Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to the Europa Hotel here in Belfast. It's a fantastic turnout today. We're going to let a few of you come and sit in the chairs here because there's great noise ahead of a massive fight, March the 1st, live on DAZN around the world. Before we speak to the fighters, of course, we want to thank our partners, and particularly our latest partner, That Prize Guy. Welcome to the Matchroom family as well today. And I guess to get the party started here today, because you're all, as always, nice and noisy in Belfast, I want to introduce the two main pugilists on display on March the 1st. Of course, this is a massive all-Irish fight. This is one of the biggest fights we've seen for some time, and a brilliant 50-50 matchup. And now, more importantly, on a world level, this is a matchup that's going to see one of these two move forward and fight for the IBF Championship of the world. They will become the mandatory challenger to Jerome Boots Ennis. They will put themselves in line for huge paydays, huge opportunities against the biggest names in the sport. And those two men... Now, we love great fights, and it takes two to tango. Firstly, to my left, a young man that has skills to burn. Under the tutelage of the great Andy Lee, this man has looked sensational. Hailing from Limerick, the undefeated Paddy Donovan. And to my right, the man that has dynamite in his hands, the man that has a city behind him. Under the tutelage of the great Billy Nelson, a man that you believe is your next superstar. Ladies and gentlemen, from Belfast, Lewis Crocker. Thank you. I love being here. I love being here. It's great to be back. Great to be back. Well, let's talk about some of the fights on the undercard. And it is an undercard that is still building as well. As I was about 30 minutes away, we are trying to make a fantastic fight, but I would like to confirm that Paddy McCrory will be on the undercard for this event in a big fight against a very well-known UK opponent as well, which we hope to announce later on. It's a tremendous fight. I'm going to start actually by a rematch of course, the fight that we saw on the Conlan-Gill card, which was a fantastic fight, because they just leathered 7 kettles out of each other, and now they're going to do it again. Jared Hughes against Rory Farrell, the rematch for the Celtic title. Jared, I'll start with you. I don't think there's been a day gone past since that fight that you haven't slid in my DMs looking for another opportunity. And now it's here on what is a massive night.
That's it. I'm glad to be here, and I actually feel that I'm in a toxic relationship with Rudy Farrell.
Yeah.
I can't go anywhere, so I can't without his name being mentioned. So I'm just glad for the opportunity, and it'll be a great fight.
Last time, brilliant fight, all-out war. Fans expect exactly the same this time.
That's it. I didn't take a backward step. He didn't take a backward step. So that's it. Listen, that's all we know, and I can't wait to fight. Rory?
Go again, yeah. March the 1st, sold out, Odyssey Arena, ready to provide the fans with a great fight again.
Yeah, right, Shane, again, what an opportunity. Thank you to Eddie Hearn and Livestream. But on Saturday, 1st of March, I put this fight to bed.
Good man. Jack O'Neill, welcome, Jack O'Neill. They tell me one of the biggest ticket sellers around these parts. Your thoughts and dreams ahead of what a wonderful slot for you on March the 1st.
Yeah, absolutely. Made my debut, my second pro fight in the SSE, fighting in the Ulster Hall here on the 1st of February, and then to be on this card, it's unbelievable. It's a big shout out to the trade management team, Mark and Ray Ginley. Well,
look forward to seeing you in action March 1st. As we do these guys, got some great people in Belfast boxing, and a lot of people in great across Irish boxing as well. One of those guys is Mark Dunlop. He's another guy that drives me absolutely mental all the time. But he knows what we want, and we just want great fights. I mean, the main event is a brilliant, brilliant fight, but on the undercard, I just want to make really good 50-50 matchups to give you guys great value for money. And when he told me about Tommy McCarthy against Stephen Ward, I just thought, I love it. I mean, I don't know who's going to win. They both have to win to move forward, and it's the perfect kind of fight to start off the broadcast. So firstly, Stephen Ward, welcome. This fight, Tommy McCarthy, seems the natural fight for both of you. Ready to go March 1st.
Yeah, I can't wait, Eddie. You know, it's a fight that we've been waiting on for a while. I thought it would have happened before now. For me, people are saying about Last Dance. For me, it's the catalyst. It's the catalyst. I've always wanted on the British. Win this, what you expect to do, and I'll come through it.
Must win?
Must win. Will win. Not must win, will win. You know, I'm confident. Me and Tommy's big mates. We sparred countless hours together, but it's different under the lights. We're going in, and we're both going in to win. And I'm confident I'll win.
Tommy, again, just the immediate yes from you guys and Mark Dunlop as well. We know you're not afraid to go into any of these big fights. Seems like the perfect fight for you two on March 1st.
Yeah, as you said, it just came about yesterday, basically, and like Stephen says, me and him were mates. We've been sparring since we're 13, but this is strictly business, as you said. Winner stays on. Yeah. I need to win to continue to keep providing for my family, and you know I will win. I'm very confident of it, but I'm looking forward to a great fight.
Well, absolutely. Tommy McCarthy against Stephen Ward, great fight. Now, let's talk about the big one. A lot of people asking me lately, what do you reckon? Who's going to win? And this is what we know about a great fight. You just don't know. A pure 50-50 matchup between two world-class fighters. We'll start with the great Andy Lee. trainer of Paddy Donovan. Andy, welcome. You know how big this fight is, obviously, for Paddy, for Irish boxing. Tremendous event March 1st, and a huge opportunity for your man.
Yeah, a huge opportunity, Eddie, and thank you for putting it on. Thank you for bringing it to Belfast. And for me, it's Paddy's going to announce himself on the world stage. People in boxing have known about Paddy Donovan, and people who've seen him fight will know about him. But he's ready to step up now. He's 26 now, the perfect age for a welterweight, coming into his maturity physically and mentally, and in his home life as well as his professional life. And I think it's the perfect time. This fight is coming at the perfect time for him. And it's just going to be a celebration for him. People are expecting a very hard fight, and it will be in a certain way, because we're going into the cauldron of Belfast, we're the away fighter and all of that stuff. But in terms of the boxing aspect, I think Paddy Donovan is just too good. He's got his generational talent, and you're going to see that on March the 1st.
This man to the right, heavy hands, all action. But you sound really confident that your man is just too good for him.
I know what Paddy can do, and he hasn't even shown any of it yet. But the heavy hands of Crocker, we know he's a big puncher, but people do know about Paddy's punching. If you ask anybody who sparred him or shared the ring with him, you'll see how Paddy. And I would argue he's the biggest he's the bigger puncher out of the two of them.
You think that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know. I hold the pads for everybody. You know the fighters I work with. This man, pound for pound, is the biggest puncher out of the lot.
So some people saying that it's the power against the skill. You disagree? You think there's more power on your side?
No, I think Lewis has skill as well, but I think Paddy has a lot of power too. Yeah.
So in that respect, knowing the aggression of Lewis Crocker, you believe, I know it's any means necessary as always, but you wouldn't be surprised to end this fight inside the distance?
I can see the fight playing out in my head loads of times. And Lewis is not strictly a pressure fighter. He's a fighter who fights in bursts and spurts, but is powerful and explosive when he does. And I can see the fight playing out in my head. Paddy Donovan timing him with the same time, whether to be to the body or head. I'm telling you, no one understands how powerful this man is when he punches. He's a phenomenal puncher. So we'll see. Listen, it's all good talking and hyping it, but I know for a fact I'm not a shit talker. I'm not a hyper. He'll do it.
We'll go to the training team for the other side. Billy Nelson. Billy, we know you always talk about the power of Lewis Crocker. You heard it there. This guy has more power, heavier hands. You buy into that going into March 1st?
There's absolutely no way Paddy Donovan punches anywhere near remotely as hard as Lewis Crocker. Yes, he's a skilled fighter. This is a very skilled man. You know, like 100 amateur fights, I think he lost maybe, was it 10? A fantastic, skilled fighter. I don't see this fight. This fight is going to be a cracking fight, but Paddy Donovan will get stopped with Lewis Crocker. 100%. 100%. The difference between the two fighters is, in my opinion, and there's no disrespect to the opposition, Lewis Crocker's the more rounded professional. He's fought better opposition. Paddy's not fought anybody in the top 30, a fully fledged welterweight, and on March the 1st he's going to find out what a fully fledged, powerful welterweight is.
If I may, opposition and the subject of opposition and fighting fully fledged welterweights, Lewis beat João Felix, who was lightweight, and then he's had his first real fight with a real live opponent was Conor Walker.
And that he got beat.
No, he didn't get beat. It was a very close fight. It could have went either way.
When I found out about the fight being in his city, did I say anything? Did I complain? No, I took a jumped at the fight. You're at ringside.
Crocker,
Eddie, can I fight in Limerick? Yeah. Can I fight in Limerick, Eddie?
Listen, you didn't want to fight me.
With respect, Paddy.
You didn't want to fight me.
With respect, Paddy.
You had to fight Walker in the rematch. You didn't want to go there with Walker, so you're forced to fight me.
Oh, have a day off, mate.
You're afraid of Walker, so you got forced to fight me.
A rematch or a world title?
You had no other choice to fight me. Your coach. Listen. You were on Twitter saying that I don't deserve to fight Crocker.
Have you said no to the fight before?
No, I'm ready right now.
Have you said no to the fight
No,
before?
he's never said no.
Never once. I'm pushing for this. Crocker, Lewis didn't do one interview. One interview calling me out because he was afraid.
The fight's here. March
The fight's here, isn't it?
Lewis Crocker's going to give you all the fight you want, March
Billy,
1st.
everybody's sick of you in boxing.
Well,
you run down all fighters, you know nothing.
Who cares?
You can all come and watch him get beat too. Make sure be there. You're just putting me.
Right. Feels like Quig Frampton all over again. Right. Paddy Donovan. Skills to burn. Apparently more power than this man as well. Billy Nelson says you're going to get stopped in the fight. You're in the lion's den. Sounds like you've got plenty of support coming up. Your moment to become mandatory challenger for the world title. What happens on March 1st on a hot-headed night in Belfast?
I knock Lewis Crocker out.
Just like Andy says, you see it, you visualise it, the timing, the speed, the power. You finish this fight inside the distance.
Yeah, I don't believe Lewis is a world-class fighter. I think he's top-level, British-level fighter, but not a world-class fighter. There's levels, and I'm a lot better than Lewis.
Wait, he's fought a top 10 British level fighter, Paddy.
I have 10 fights. I have 10 fights, and I'm in the top 10 in the world. It took him 20 fights. He's 16
I'm higher ranked than you in 3 of the 4 organisations.
With his 16 fight, he fought a guy with 40 losses on his record. And you're telling me that he's a better record than me? That's right, journeyman.
What did you see? You were ringside for that Conor Walker fight. It was one of the fights of the year. What did you see in that fight? And what do you see in Lewis Crocker that makes you believe that you beat him on March 1st?
I believe Walker won the fight. It was a tight fight, but I believe Walker won the fight. And I believe that Crocker was scared to rematch Walker because he knew he was going to get beat.
Why do you keep talking about Walker?
So
it's me and you.
He had no other choice to
talk about
He was
Walker
forced to fight me. You were forced to fight me. You don't want to fight me. You never caught me out. I've been pushing for this fight for the last 12 months. Not once did you talk about it.
I want to fight Limerick. I pushing for it. I'd have fought you anywhere, mate. This is the fight. This is the fight that always
We'll see. And bring all your support and watch me beat you.
Paddy, one thing we know, we can hear it here today, the fight week's going to be electric as well. It's going to be 7,000 in the Odyssey, banged out. Keep your cool in that situation, perform at the right time at the highest level. You believe you're a special fighter that will perform under that heat on March 1st.
Yeah, I believe I've the best team around me possible. My father, Andy Lee, George Lockhart, Keith O'Sullivan, Eddie, you behind me. So yeah, I've the perfect team. Keep my head, keep in control, and just get the job done, which I believe I will, in tremendous fashion.
Lewis, welcome. You have got this fight in Belfast. This is one of the greatest fight cities on the planet. The atmosphere is going to be red hot. Your moment, the biggest moment by far of your career, to put you up in the bright light, superstardom, shot at a world title, ready to make dreams come true March 1st.
First of all, everyone from Belfast, and likewise, it's great to be here. Thanks for coming out. March 1st is the biggest stage, as you said. I think the major difference is in this fight between me and him is like, this has been my 6th time headlining. Do you know what I mean? Like, I felt more pressure against McKenna than I do against him. This is his first time at the big thing. Like 14 fights. Like I've been way more professional rounds.
At 14 fights? Who have you fought at 14 fights? Where were you ranked when you had 14 fights?
I'm not saying that.
Where were
I'm
you
saying
ranked?
at 14
Where
fights.
were you? Nowhere. You're between England and Scotland hiding until your 16 or 17 fight. That's where you are. It's only the last couple of fights that came alive. Listen, on the night I'll have more support there than you.
See, Paddy wants to make the thing that it's north v south, which is not at all. It's Belfast v Limerick, so it is, right? I represent all of Belfast, every community from Belfast, and I can be more proud. I'm a proud Belfast man. You know what I mean? I am.
I would say that
he thinks it's going to be a split thing. All right, you'll bring up your fans, but I'll show out.
this is not. It's not Belfast versus Ireland. It's a celebration for Irish boxing. Whoever wins will be representing Ireland.
No,
for the
it's
best.
Belfast v Limerick, so
Ireland.
it is.
Yeah, I never made it like that. I don't know why it's in your head. But yeah, what I'm saying to you is I'll have more support. You like me more. I'm more liked in Belfast than you are. We've heard a lot of stories about you.
Anyone here for Paddy? Yeah! Anyone here for me?
This is Belfast.
Lewis, again, we've heard some interesting stuff about the power, the skill. We know that you've got skill. You feel that your skill is underrated. He obviously feels his power is underrated. How do you see this fight playing out?
The best thing that ever happened was that Walker fight, because they took so much confidence. Me and my team know what happened on fight week, which affected me in that fight. But I made no excuses, because I'm not a bitch. Do you know what I'm saying? Not like this man here. I made no excuses. I bottled it out.
Don't make no excuses, and I whip you on the first of March. No more excuses.
I made no excuses about that fight. I beat a better fighter than he's ever beat. But let's not forget, the worst version of me beat the best version of Conor Walker. Do you know what I'm saying? So I take confidence away from that.
It was a fight you got beaten.
The worst version of me.
It was a fight you got beaten. It was a fight you got beaten.
Good man.
You're here because it's a bigger fight me and you.
You got hurt by a journeyman last January.
Yeah, who?
You got hurt by a journeyman.
And were you hurt by a journeyman? Were you ever hurt?
Oh, so you did get hurt?
Were you ever?
You did get hurt?
He says, and Andy says, that when they visualise it, they both see Paddy Donovan winning this fight inside the distance. Billy says he thinks you stop him as well. No doubt in your mind you take him out inside 12 rounds.
No doubt. No doubt. They're taking way too much confidence from the Walker fight, and I'm going to be a different man. I'll be a tough man to beat in the 1st of March. Mark my words.
And before we pose for the head-to-head on this incredible night, March 1st, live on DAZN around the world, the last words from the fighters. Paddy Donovan, look this man in the eye and tell him what happens on March 1st.
Lewis Crocker, I'm going to give you the hiding of your life when it comes March 1st. I'm going to separate the men from the boys, and I'm going to show you what a real Irish fighter is.
Lewis, last words from you. What happens? Look this man in the eye, tell him what happens March 1st.
I beat this man without a doubt. It's going to be the toughest night of his life, without a doubt. Without a doubt. And I'm looking forward to seeing everyone show up for it, because it's always electric. And again, Eddie, thank you very much for the opportunity. You've changed my life already, and hopefully many big nights like this.
Shout out everybody. As we said, some more announcements to come over the next 24, 48 hours. This is going to be a massive, massive night of boxing. Make sure you're there. I want to thank you guys for the energy of always coming to this city. We can't wait for Fight Week. For the last time, and for the thousands of people watching around the world on the live stream, as they love to hear the noise. Ladies and gentlemen, the man to my left, let's hear it for Limerick's Paddy Donovan. Ladies and gentlemen. And your own Belfast, Lewis Crocker. We're going to post the head-to-head. Thank you. We'll see you soon.
We would just like to apologise if there were a few technical difficulties at the opening of the stream there, and you missed me and Darren waffling anyway, to be honest with you. That was the most important bit. And if you were excited before, Darren Barker, you're certainly a bit more excited now. That was brilliant. That was incredible.
Roll on March 1st. I mean, look, what the takeaways from that is the coaches are extremely confident in their charges, but most importantly, so are the fighters. They really believe that they are the better fighter. And we said it in the start there, in case you missed it, the contrast in styles. But it's going to gel. It's a fantastic fight, it really is.
Well, here is a rematch, Ryan Farrell and Gerard Hughes. The pair couldn't be split over 6 rounds on the Michael Conlan Jordan Gill undercard back in the December of 2023. They run it back March 1st. Darren, you were commentating ringside that night, and it was, for as far as 6-round fights go on Before the Bell, it was a good watch.
It was a very good fight and definitely worthy of a rematch. Bit of controversy in the fight. Both men think they won. And as Eddie said there, they really went to town, so glad that one's on the card.
And we look forward to seeing former European cruiserweight champion Mr. Tommy McCarthy back in the ring as well. He's in with Stephen Ward. The undercard continues to build, and as Eddie mentioned, Darren, Podrick McCrory also going to be in action against what Eddie says a top UK name. We might have to try and quiz Eddie there and try and get that out of him and find out who that is. And here we go, the main event, 6 weeks to go. Lewis Crocker of Belfast, Paddy Donovan of Limerick will light up the SSE Arena. Final eliminator for the IBF World title at £147. This is Point of Pride. This is all live on DAZN, March 1st. Atmosphere, Darren, for a Wednesday afternoon.
We love it. Fantastic. Really is, again, just showing how confident they both are. And what might surprise a lot of people is the size there. Very similar.
Yeah.
You know, you assume from what you've heard and what you've seen in the past that Lewis Crocker would be the bigger out of the two. But that doesn't seem to be the case.
And Darren, you are going to be sitting in the middle of a face-off later today, so keep your eyes peeled on Matchroom and DAZN social channels for that one. And you were thinking on the way over here to Belfast, how are you going to get these two going at each other? You were talking about getting the wooden spoon out. I don't think you're going to need to.
I don't think there's any worries there, is there, Ed?
Well, that was the easiest job I've ever done.
Eddie
Random people
joining us
walking on
now.
the stream here. That was unbelievable.
How good was
that? I mean,
that?
it's something about being here. I mean, I said, reminds me of Quick Frampton. It felt like that.
Yeah.
It's just, these guys, they're not blessed with massive nights, and they've got one March 1st. This is a brilliant fight, and a fight that you could debate, a fight that you can talk about. You know, I was actually thinking on the plane here about Paddy Donovan's power and about the sharpness and the speed of his punches. I think he's very live and dangerous in this fight by knockout as well. We know that Lewis Crocker is. We know that Paddy Donovan may be the question marks. Last time out, he only had, 3 or 4 weeks to prepare. Can he get hurt down the straight? I think conditioning is going to be key in this fight. You know, I think to see a fit, strong, 100% Paddy Donovan is going to be tough to beat. And Lewis Crocker in front of these fans, it's going to be an absolute thriller. It's going to be a night, one of the great atmospheres.
What was your main takeaway from that, Eddie?
I'll be honest, I think Paddy is nervous. You know, like you see in the head-to-head, you know, when you're up close, you can see. And I think Paddy is nervous, you know, in a... But not in a fearful way. Just it is a massive stage for him. Like Lewis Crocker headlined at the Odyssey before. You know, he's boxed Conor Walker as a main event in Birmingham. He's definitely been in, say, not necessarily deeper, but he's been on bigger moments. And this is a big moment for Paddy Donovan. He's coming into the backyard. Look at this boy. Look. Hey mate, come here.
Come in. Come on. Live on DAZN. Welcome.
You can't just walk in the stream. Yeah. Tell us your name.
Edward Harty. Martin Donovan. I'm Paddy.
I know. You look it. Tell me in you know, no bad language, what happens on March 1st, and why are you so confident your brother wins this fight?
Paddy, you have more power. You have more skill. You have better footwork. I believe Paddy will do the job.
Paddy will knock him like a red ton of bricks on March 1st.
Crocodile tears. Crocodile tears. Oh, Paddy, up the real deal.
Cheers, boys. Boys, thanks for joining us.
Yeah, after. Yeah.
We'll get them on the top table, I think, with you.
Yeah.
Darren was talking about the size difference.
Yeah.
Not a lot in it when you saw the face-to-face there.
But it really interested. I mean, I love it when the trainers get involved as well. That was great. And obviously Andy's incredibly passionate about Paddy Donovan. Don't forget that before we signed Paddy Donovan, he was with Top Rank, and Andy was pushing him so hard to get his opportunity. And this is a massive opportunity. I mean, this is to become mandatory challenger for Jerome Boots Ennis. It's likely that Boots will unify in April. Once he does that, there's also a big chance that he moves up. There could be an opportunity for the winner of this fight to be in a vacant title fight, again, in an easier fight than Jerome Boots Ennis. You win the World Welterweight Championship, you are in a golden position with the likes of Devin Haney, Ryan Garcia, you know, any of the other big boys, Teofimo Lopez moving up to 147 pounds. Well, this is a life-changing opportunity. And you know, when you get two young fighters that haven't been spoilt yet by the fame and the riches, they are ready to give it everything on March 1st. And it will be a barn burner.
So is that what you push for? Does the winner, we know that politics and whatever, sometimes these things don't happen, but the winner here is likely or 100% going to be fighting for the IBF World title?
The winner of this fight will be mandated to fight Jerome Boots Ennis. After Boots' next fight, he will get a letter from the IBF to say you now have 30 days to negotiate with Paddy Donovan or Lewis Crocker. Now, when Boots unifies the division, there's every chance that he's going to move to 54. Then it becomes the winner of this fight against the next available. You know, and that is a fight you can bring to Ireland. So this is, and if, by the way, if Boots doesn't move up, the winner of this fight's Boots in a massive payday and a massive opportunity for the world title.
What's the preferred option for Boots? Is it Stanionis, that unification with Stanionis?
Yeah, I mean, Stanionis, Barrios. Norman's, you know, wants a warm-up fight because he got injured. So Stanionis or Barrios, really. You know, we know that the fight potentially with Teofimo is there. We know that the fight with Ortiz is there. But Boots has got one thing on his mind, just unify the division. He's so desperate to do that, and that'll be the aim.
You mentioned Paddy McCrory against a big domestic name. Yeah. Any clues?
I don't want to call them out because they've kind of accepted the fight and we're just waiting to finalise it all. But it's a really good fight up at 175 pounds. Again, you know, that plus Tommy McCarthy against Stephen Ward, plus Rory Farrell against Gerard Hughes, and there'll be one more championship fight on the broadcast as well. So tickets selling very well for this show already. It's going to be completely packed out March 1st.
Albeit, Eddie, we're here to talk about this great show on March 1st. We also have to give the fans a little bit of a live update where we can. News breaking overnight about Conor Benn and Chris Eubank Jr. What can you tell us?
Yeah, very late last night with His Excellency and Conor Benn in his hotel. We got the fight signed. His Excellency made the announcement. It was like 3 o'clock in the morning. Conor Benn v Chris Eubank is on. You know, 2 years after the first one. It's going to be one of the great build-ups of a fight you've ever seen. And obviously with Tyson Fury retiring, it is the biggest fight in British boxing. And, you know, you get a few haters that say, no, it's not. Tell me a bigger fight in British boxing than Ben Eubank. It's a stadium fight. It's going to be a red-hot ticket. The build-up's going to be unbelievable. You know, we know the narrative, we know the history, we know the legacy of the fathers. But this is a fight between a very young, hungry welterweight moving to middleweight, and it's real personal now. Real personal. You're going to love the build-up, but you're going to love the fight even more. You know, we'll bring Nigel over. I'm sure Eubank Senior will be there in his droves, and this is a proper fight with real bad blood, and I can't wait.
Also, we heard of Tyson Fury's retirement. I see an interview recently, you talking about AJ's next potential opponents. Can you give us anything?
Yeah, I mean, people like put me on the spot, say, well, who else? And what I said was, our two preferred options are Tyson Fury and the winner of Dubois against Parker. But if Tyson Fury never fights again, and we don't get the winner of Dubois Parker, AJ's still going to fight. Right. You know, he's ready to almost return to camp. He wants to fight around May or June, and they asked me for some names. You know, Bacoli got his back up the other day a little bit with a call out. There could be a potential big fight in Africa. I think that's an unlikely fight. Deontay Wilder is a fight that I think coming off the defeat, people would still love to see. If Wilder comes back with a win, looks like he's scheduled to fight in February. Dillian Whyte, you know, another name that's floating around. I don't know. I mean, these are just names that I'm plucking out because AJ will fight.
When?
May or June. Right. I think realistically, you know, as he starts camp towards the end of this month, I think that's a realistic time, you know, and we'll see what happens with Tyson Fury in the meantime. You know, I mean, I can't see Mr. Fury leaving this fight on the table.
It was cryptic as well, wasn't it?
What did you make of that?
The announcement?
Yeah,
I think he's probably... I think he still feels that he won that fight against Usyk. I think that's where he talks about, you know, Dick Turpin and that kind of stuff. AJ started calling him out. You know, Usyk had a little bit of a dig at the awards. Maybe he's just gone, right, you know. I mean, the day you start to predict, what's going on in Tyson's head. I mean, you're going to be there all day. So if he has retired, he's had a wonderful career, he's been a brilliant servant to British boxing, good luck to him. The cynic in me, my gut feeling, you know, if I said to you, gut feeling, will we see him in the ring again?
Probably say AJ by the end of the year.
Yeah, but, you know, I mean, again, I said, you know, one of my interviews, I said, it's the kind of thing I'd do, because it might get you a better deal. It's almost like, if you want to bring me out of retirement, mate, you better show me what's on the table. But when the dust settles and you're sitting at home and you're a couple of weeks in or a couple of months in and you're a little bit bored and you've got the buzz of 100,000+ people at Wembley Stadium and the biggest fight in the sport and the greatest fight in British boxing history, are you going to leave it on the table? We shall see.
We do have to remind the fans at home watching live here, tickets on sale for Crocker Donovan, ticketmaster.ie. Eddie, what is your promise to all those coming to the SSE Arena on March 1st? What will be delivered for those?
You will get one of the great atmospheres. There's something about this city, but there's something particularly about all Irish fights. As you know, Crocker said there, some people are billing it as North v South. This is Belfast against Limerick, and it's going to be lively in there. You heard it today, that's just a press conference. Wait till you witness March 1st. A brilliant undercard and a great all-Irish fight of massive global importance in the world welterweight division. Two fantastic undefeated fighters and a great clash of styles. This fight won't go 12 rounds. It'll be electric.
And just finally, of course, we roll into the first UK Matchroom show with Dalton Smith as well next week.
Yeah, double header. I mean, we've got the broadcast running the whole way through. We're up in Nottingham with Dalton Smith going for the European title, one of the few titles that he hasn't won before he fights for the world title, hopefully in 2025. Conor Walker, you know, we saw in a fight of the year with Lewis Crocker in a great fight against Harry Scarr for the British and Commonwealth. Ellie Scotney going for the IBF and IBO in a really good fight against Miyamoto. It's going to be a very tough night's work as well. And then stateside, I tell you, a brilliant fight. Diego Pacheco against Steve Nelson. Two guys ranked very highly in the world governing bodies. Sooner or later, Diego's going to get called into that mandatory position for Canelo Alvarez later on in the year. It's a big fight for him. Andy Cruz in action against Saucedo in a brilliant fight at 135 pounds. And Tito Mercado against Jose Pedraza. Bring in Zaquin Moses as well, and a lot of great young talent. And also Nishant Dev making his professional debut. And another Olympian to be announced in the next few days. Big signing for us as we get ready for a few big signings in the next couple of weeks.
He's quite good at this, isn't he?
He's all right. Yeah. I think you should take it up full time. Eddie, thanks so much.
I think you got quite good at this mixed up with goat.
Did you say that? Goat. Goat.
I mean, I don't want to blow my own tongue. Tell me a better promoter than me ever in the sport.
Don King. Bob Arum. Frank Warren. Final reminder.
Funny way to end in your P45.
I've heard that a few times. I'm still here, so I must be doing something right. Ticketmaster.ie. Get your tickets for this tremendous fight. What a fight it is. Crocker Donovan. If you weren't excited for March 1st, I think it's safe to say you are now. We'll see you next week.